Okay, so guys, thanks for joining. Let me wait for rest of all people joined. Then I can start. Meanwhile, let me share the URL. Okay, so hope I am visible to everyone. Give me 1 second, guys. My thought is very bad condition. Sorry for that. I think I'm audible, right? Okay, so hope I am visible to everyone. Okay, I think now I'm on live. Let me back to our screen. Close this one. Okay, guys, so today we are going to discuss about the architecture of Zscaler. Okay, so when I say architecture of Zscaler, still my thought is too much, issue. Okay, but I try to cover. Okay, so hope my screen is visual to everyone. I think it's visible to everyone. Okay, so guys, let me tell you, when I say architecture of Zscaler, there's a three important parameters there, right? If you are going for interview or if you are start working on the Zscaler, right? So there's three things is very important, right? So let me tell you what is those three things, right? So how many things are involved in the architecture, right? So one is the CA. CA is the central authority. Okay, this is not certificate authority. People are confused on that. So in the Zscaler, CA is the central authority. Okay, so this is very important parameter of Zscaler architecture. And then second, called as Zscaler service edge. Zscaler service edge. So what is that? I will tell you in the when I share my screen in the PPT. And third one is the how the Zscaler collect the logs. This is the kind of firewall. This is the kind of management device which manage everything, like in your if you're working in the Palo Alto, the panorama, right? So manage everything on management thing through that central authority. Then there is a gateway called a Zscaler public service edge, which actually intercepting the user traffic. And the the next one is to actually is the your static plane means, so how, what, suppose you configure the policy under the CA. Okay, the Facebook is blocked, so when you are trying to access, it should block by the service public service edge. Now that transaction should be tracked somewhere, so that part will be taken care by static plane. Okay, so this is more, just high level of overview. So let me go back and deep dive. Oh, and I'm trying to referring this with the firewall. So whoever the belongs to firewall background, there guys may be more relevant to that topic, right? So the control plane, guys, if you belongs to firewall background, you know that what is the control plane, right? So the control plane basically is the one which take care of all management part. Okay, management part means creating the rule, creating the username, uh, assigning some policies. So everything should be happening like in the firewall. And if you're talking about the Palo Alto, the control plane was managed by Panorama, right? So in the same way, Zscaler called as a control plane means the CA, Central Authority. So this is the central authority of Zscaler, and the brain and nervous system that manage the entire cloud, maintain the list of users, group, department, right? It is managed list of all users, whatever there in your company, list of groups, department. It will hold all these detail, each with the unique ID. Unique ID maintain the all the policies and configuration for the company. So central authority is the nervous system of the Zscaler. So when I say nervous system means it is brain, right? Everything whatever you are configuring, you are do the configuration on the CA, and then CA will be sync that configuration on the public service edge, right? So why mention here as a control plane? Because we want you guys maybe belongs to firewall background, so it may be more relevant to control plane, data plane, and static plane. So we are referring with the control plane, which is the C of the Zscaler, right? It will be manage the user IDs, group, department, and including the policies and configuration of the companies, and it located in 3-4 data center for disaster recovery. Okay, so guys, I will tell you. I will give you the example, then it will make more sense, right? Suppose your company based on the Pune, right? And Zscaler, by the way, all over globe, right? Israel, US, UK, France, you know, Germany, anywhere. So how you can understand what is the CA for you? So if your company is the Pune based, so ideally you will connect this company to where you can connect to the Mumbai data center of Zscaler. So the Mumbai data center for you is the CA, Central Authority. So suppose I am working on that company and managing the Zscaler. So I log in on that portal, and whatever configuration I did on that, so all configuration should be I did on the CA, and this CA will be sync that configuration. Suppose my lot of customer in US, ideally I'm doing the configuration on the Mumbai data center, which is CA for me, and the public services, which is maybe New York or maybe in other location in the US, maybe there. So when you are trying to run connecting something, which maybe I put it in the Mumbai data center, suppose Facebook block. So what happened now? I did the Facebook block. Now it will be happen sync that configuration all over globe, and those configuration actually is called happen with the public service edge. Okay, so maybe Mumbai is the CA for me, and because it provide 2-3 data center as a disaster recovery, so you can took like Hyderabad is the secondary, and Delhi is the a third data center, right? So so guys, the central authority always, whatever the location of your company, it will next to your company, whatever the nearest data center of Zscaler. Again, how you can identify what is the nearest data center for your company? So you can visit on that portal called trust.zscaler.com. Then you can go into the data centers in India. If you can see this is the India, right? Let me zoom in. You can see this is the New Delhi, Mumbai data center, Hyderabad data center, and Chennai data center, right? So, okay. So based on your nearest location, Zscaler give you that data center where you can connect it for you. This is the CA, okay? So where you are establish your IPsec or GRE tunnel, which is CA for you, okay? So now guys, CA, hope you understand, and don't confuse. CA is not a central authority like certificate. It is the, sorry, it is not certificate authority, it is central authority. Basically is the nervous system of the Zscaler, which will be take care of all user list, department, group, policies, and rest of all configuration, right? Now the another is the control plane. Again, This is just an example. Okay, so basically this is part of firewall. If anyone belongs to firewall, you guys know that the control plane and data plane, right? So control plane is take care of all management part. Data plane is the one actually which intercept user data, right? So again, data plane is like, let me give you the example of Palo Alto. So Panorama is the one which actually you did the configuration, and Panorama is not actually intercept your traffic because that is the management thing. So the traffic will be intercepted by the firewall. In the same way, Zscaler CA is the just did the configuration, and that configuration sync their all over globe data center by use the data plane, and data plane will be how it will be communicate between CA to the Zscaler service edge, which is happen through data plane, right? So this is the one which actually working on the ground to intercept the traffic. I block Facebook on the Mumbai data center, but when any user in US which trying to access the Facebook, actually that Facebook blocked by the US Zscaler data center, not a India one. Because I did it on Mumbai, but still it will be sync. And when I say the CA is for me is the Mumbai data center, and Zscaler public services in the US data center, right? Or not only US, just I'm giving the example. Rest of all over globe, the data center is the public service edge, which is actually intercept the user traffic, right? So let me go back and try to understand the definition of that. So Zscaler enforcement node for high speed inspection and policy enforcement connection identify only based on the user ID. So again, this is the data plane. Zscaler public service edge actually is the one which intercept your traffic based on the policy which you did on the CA, right? Like again, I give the example of the Palo Alto Panorama, right? You did configuration on Panorama, but it intercept by the Zscaler service edge, right? And connection will be identified only based on the user ID. So I adding one more point, guys. Zscaler you never ever see when you are hit seeing the logs, not like that ram dot dixit, right? So Zscaler logs not work like that. It you should be put the exact name, right? Ram Dixit 20 at the rate xyz.com. So you need to put the exact email ID as a username. Zscaler will not accept like this ram.dixit. You will put the with the domain and email ID, because Zscaler actually Zscaler basically communicate and onboarding multiple customers, right? Not only you. So maybe Ram Dixit, maybe lot of customer in the multiple companies, right? So you should be when you are putting the filter based on the username, or somebody asks you the question how you can filter out, or how which unique identity Zscaler work to identify the traffic, which is the user ID. Okay. So let me tell you the single scan multi-action. I think this is again it more relevant. Whoever belongs to Palo Alto background, Palo Alto called this step as a SP3 process, single parallel processing, right? So single scan multi-action is the type of inspection which Zscaler using to forward the traffic, and traffic processed in the memory, it never written into the disk. What is that? It means traffic will be not just processed in the memory, means it will be temporary stored, not never written to the disk. So Zscaler even also not understand, or they are not storing their connection into the memory, basically write not into the memory, right? So let me go to the third plane that called as static plane. So you can see, guys, this is something like firewall, right? Control plane is the management plane. Data plane is the one which actually intercept user traffic. Now third one is you push the policy is intercepted. Now whatever the connection below or drop the traffic on the Zscaler public service edge, that should be tracked down. So the static plane is the one which note down that connection for your further analysis. Suppose you want to track down, like for at in the morning, what connection is happening with my Zscaler with the user machine, right? So you can track down through a static plane. So this is the scalable reporting analytics for maximum login efficiency, right? You use the log router to install log data as storage into geo based on your choice. With the log retention period is 6 months. By default, Zscaler provides you 6 months to store the logs. Again, but option you can also forward those logs to your SIM tool like Splunk, IBM Curator, or Sentinel. So based on the your requirement, you can go ahead and use it, right? Let me. So what is the three important architecture part is the control plane, which is the CA, data plane, which is the Zscaler public service edge. Third one is the static plane, which will be take care of your all logs. And log router is something which, if suppose I want to store my logs in Mumbai data center of Zscaler, so you use the log router, which you ensure that storage your log based on your choice, right? Okay, so this is the diagram. You are the global administrator. I'm sitting in the Mumbai. This is the Mumbai data center. I configuring to block Facebook. Now what happened? Whatever I'm configuration, I directly did configuration on the CA. Okay, this is okay, guys. The CA part. Now, if you go to next, let me I think cover a little bit this part. So central authority is the nervous system, which I already told you, manage the entire cloud. When central authority does this given you to administrator console, so every organization so that you can log in and set up your policies, like block something, allow something, right? Then CA hold the list of users group department along with the all policies configuration for company. There is no user credential stored in Gen or Nanologs. So the credential is not stored into the public service edge and your Nanolog. Nanolog is basically used to store the logs, right? So instead of CA assign a unique ID of each company location user. Okay, this is interesting, guys. One of my student asking that question, Ram sir, suppose because in the Zscaler, we onboarded multiple customer, right? We onboarded multiple customer. So maybe you can ask the question, suppose I want, how can I answer that? Suppose you are giving that if I want to, how Zscaler actually because of multiple customer onboarded, how you are sure that Zscaler not sharing data to each customer, because maybe 500 plus customer are already there on Zscaler. So maybe your question is how you can sure that this color is not sharing that data to each other, or suppose somebody in man in middle capture the packet and it may be expose your internal data, right? So Zscaler is saying, hello guys, I'm not actually storing your actual data. So when data going from CA to the Zscaler public service edge, it will be actually used instead of the exact data like ram.dikshit@xyz.com. I will use the unique ID, and ID is binary based number. So even somebody suppose capture that data between Mumbai to the US data center of Zscaler, it will be look like 101.0.1.0.1.0.1 something like that, which is meaningless for that attacker, right? It means it is also make the guarantee that your data traveling between the Zscaler CA to the Zscaler service edge, it will be, instead of the actual data, it will convert it as a binary based unique ID, right? Okay. Now, let me take it here. I'm the Mumbai. This is the Mumbai. I and this is the data center maybe from US which I'm talking about. I configure Facebook block here. So when these are user are accessing this, maybe go directly on that data center and then it will go to that Facebook. But when this user trying to access that for this user, for this is the Zscaler public service edge, public service edge. So this is the Zscaler public service edge and this is the CA for you. So you configure Facebook block on Mumbai data center and it will be sync there all over globe data center that policies. So when user suppose in the US and they trying to access Facebook, this will be the block. You can see this is the firewall and this is the panorama or like management device where we are configuring that, and now you can this CA configuration will be sync all over globe. I was telling you about how this sync happen. They are using instead of the actual data. Suppose you are putting the rule called RAM cannot access facebook.com, right? xyz.com. So once you allow, so when this rule is syncing, instead of taking my actual email ID, it will it will go like 1010101, right? Okay, so one second, guys. I think there is something. My camera is shut down. Let me start my MacBook. Okay, so give me one second, please. Okay, so hope my screen is visual to everyone, and wait, guys. Okay, give me one second. Okay, so let me see if I am audible properly. I think everything gone, guys. One second, please. Let me try. I think my actually camera is shut down. I think I'm what I will do, guys. Let me bring my main screen on the front. Camera is shut down. Okay, is it my screen is visual to everyone? I think I'm what I will do, guys. Let me bring my main screen on the front. Okay, now I think it's visual to everyone. Great. So now, guys, you can see, right? Let me wait one more time. Okay, is it my screen is visual to everyone? Okay, now I think it's sure. Okay. So you can see the CA is the Mumbai and my user may be belongs to Delhi data center, right? So traffic is directly, all traffic will be sync from Mumbai data center to the Delhi data center, right? From Mumbai data center to the maybe US data center, you can say. And this is the CA, this is the public service edge. So these are the main architecture. Let me quickly cover that because maybe bat is very slow, so I can continue tomorrow from here, guys. So I think thank you for watching, guys. I will cover that tomorrow. Okay. So you can follow that, you can put your comment if you have any question, and if you want to get it that PDF and all, so you can join our